Yo, what's up? I'm preparing this performance for this live meditation sound bath for an event, and I want to share some ambient techniques in Ableton. Let's check them out. Okay, so let's go one by one. First, you can load just an audio file, something you record, sample, download from Splice or from the internet. This is just an ambience, so this is like a night forest kind of ambience. Let's play that. I'm playing at very low in volume. Oh, and let me stop the other ones. Just show something we have in the background. And this goes for 5 minutes, although we can also warp it and loop it. So it's loop. Let's actually start maybe the looping from here and end the looping right there. Okay, nice. Next one is a drone. Let's go to this track. And let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to turn these off. And I'm using this sound from my wavetable preset pack. Just a sound. You can use any sound. Now, what I do here is let's open this up. We have the wavetable. And if we go to the MPE section, I have the note pitch bend all the way up. This is by default. But just check that your synth supports MPE. Because then what we can do is let's go here. I put a few octaves right here, and this is what it sounds like. But if we go to the MPE, the note expression window, what we can do is we can start taking notes and do kind of like this blue note technique where some notes go down, some notes go up, and then eventually they meet back at the octaves. So let's start from here, see what that sounds like. Let's turn down the texture. Here they're gonna meet in the middle. Nice, and we have some other more movements there at the end. So how you can do that, let's create a new clip here. We can just choose one note. In my case, I'm in the key of C sharp major or D flat major. I'm gonna create one note. Actually, before that, let's delete that note. Let's go back to our notes, delete that. Let's duplicate it a few times so we have a very long clip. Create a note. And then let's create a note here. And hit legato, so it extends all the way. We can copy it to other octaves. Let's copy it here. I'm gonna hold Option, just drag it. And hold Option, drag it up. Nice, now I can go to the note expression, click on a note, just bring it down. Click on another note, bring it up. We can keep the middle one in the middle or even bring it lower to a different octave, whatever you want. Another thing with ambient music or sound baths, that we want kind of a constant change. So what we can do is we can load under audio effects, modulators, we can load the LFO. I have 2 of them here, and then we can start mapping them to different places. We can click on this list icon, open up to 8 destinations, and here I have it mapped to just a few macros that I have in this rack, but you can also map it directly to your synth, plugin, whatever it may be. Just find parameters that are not changing the sound drastically, just a tiny bit, so they're constantly changing. Now, how I set up the LFO is on random with smoothing, so it smoothly moves the parameter instead of jumping to it, very slow rate, and now we can see, let's turn it down, we can see that they're slowly moving right here, these few parameters. Let's speed it up so we can see them move. Here we go. Okay, so without the smoothing, it will just jump. So we want to smooth it out so they'll just move, and we'll slow it down. Now here I also have an audio effect rack just to control the volume. This is an empty chain. I have another LFO to randomize the volume, again, to be a bit more dynamic with our drone. And we'll turn it down. Okay. Next one is probability. So let's solo this for a second. Let me turn off these 2 effects. And this is just a basic sound that we have. Again, for my wavetable preset pack, it's just a wavetable presets from the Ableton synthesizer that I've made with a bunch of effects and stuff. You can get them on my website if you want. So just a sound. I did took up the release quite high. That's the original sound. Took the release quite high. Now what I did here is we created a clip. Let's create a new clip. Let's put a bunch of notes here in the key of C sharp. We'll keep it C sharp pentatonic. Okay. If you're not sure, you can also scale the clip. Let's do C sharp D flat, and we'll do major pentatonic. We'll just scale it, and then we can just put in whatever notes we want from that scale. But now what I'll do is I'll open up. This should probably be turned off, but you can show the probability lane, highlight all the notes, and let's take all of them down to a probability of about 10%. We can see on the bottom there, 10%, or on the left. So now it's for each note, the probability is it will only play 10% of the time. And now if we launch it, it's just going to play, but we're only going to get a few notes here and there. Here we go. I also added some reverb. This is the hybrid reverb from Ableton. And some filtering, just to keep it a bit more mellow sounding. Let's bring back our drone. So this is with the probability lane. You can do a bunch of cool stuff with it for ambient music. Oh, we can hear that blue note kind of technique. Okay, next one, we're gonna go and use a Max for Live device. This is called Melodic Steps. You can find it under the MIDI effects. Now you do need to download, where's the Melodic Steps? Here we go. You do need to download this free pack called Creative Extensions. You can download directly from packs. If you scroll down, available packs, you'll find it. It's a pack called Creative Extensions. Comes with a lot of great stuff, including the Melodic Steps. Now the Melodic Steps is a sequencer that you only have to play by clicking spacebar. Now, again, I have a sound here. This is again for my wavetable preset pack, whatever, but just like a plucky sound. Now, if I turn this on, we won't hear anything until we play the project, but if I play it, we're gonna start seeing it running. Now here with a few lanes, we can change the octave, transposition, length of each note, velocity, but the most important for our ambient purposes is on the bottom, we can see the chance. So here I have a very small chance for each note. So again, if I play it, it will only play notes here and there randomly. You can also randomize each lane and decide what's the length of each lane. And once again here, I chose C sharp, major, so we keep everything in key. I did have a few notes that I didn't want, so I added another scale MIDI effect to keep it major pentatonic, not the entire 7 notes, only the 5 notes of the pentatonic in C sharp or D flat. You can also see the panning is changing here. We'll see that on another track. It's just another LFO that continuously change the panning. So then we have this other random notes. It's just another way of randomizing in single notes to play randomly. So that's the Melodic Steps, and those are just 2 ways of doing some probability. There's many more. Let's check another one. Let's go and solo this one. Now if we go to this track, Bouncy Notes, this is another Max for Live device. Right here, Bouncy Notes, another different free pack inspired by nature by Dylan Baston, which has, by the way, amazing Max for Live devices. Check him out. This is an official pack from Ableton, but he has some really amazing other ones. This is called Bouncy Notes. Now what this does is essentially creates these bouncy balls that fall on the ground here. The ground is kind of triggering different notes. I went and clicked on this keyboard right here. We chose again our key, which is major pentatonic, C sharp. We have a starting note, because usually the range is huge. It starts from here. So we started a bit higher and lower range. And what we did is we set the dropping the creation of the notes to be automatic every 1 bar. Their lifetime is just 3 notes. I did add some speed. Oh, you saw that? When I hit, you need to hit spacebar to play it. And then it's just randomly dropping these balls. Not every 1 bar, but changing the notes kind of randomly. Here we added some random direction to all the notes, because if we don't have that, it just falls straight and doesn't move. So we also have some random direction, so just go around and just create these random bursts of notes. Let's turn it up so we can hear that. Okay, now again here I added some LFOs and a filter just to make the sound more mellow. LFOs to change a few things about the sound. In this case, it's just the attack to make it from more plucky to more bowing, just randomly. And right here, we have just kind of randomizing all these macros, just different parameters in the synthesizer and effect that can change the sound constantly. And again, we set it up with random. In this case, no smoothing, just jump. And we also have it mapped to the panning of this Bouncy Notes track and the Melodic Steps track that we just saw. So this kind of creates just random bursts of notes. And of course, you can use any sound. But Bouncy Notes, really amazing device to create some more ambient, randomized things. Okay? And if we want, you can even LFO the drop, the kind of creation of these balls. Right now it's every 1 bar, but even this I can randomize with another LFO if I want. Okay, so we're already starting to get this bed of harmony, that everything is kept in this one key, C sharp major. Nice, so just a few techniques. Now, another one is, of course, if I want to play something on my MIDI keyboard with the performance. So right here, let's solo this. I have just a piano. This is the upright piano from Ableton. Although I prefer a contact piano, a free one I can show you. But this one is just a piano. Now, I did add this free plugin called Supermassive. You might know it already. I used the preset called Reverb Massive We Are Stardust. I did change the mix, turn it down, and took down the warp a tiny bit. And then we have this huge reverb bed for our piano. Here, this is just my own Max for Live device, just to show what I'm playing for my video. So it's just display, it's just showing what I'm playing. So it doesn't do anything besides that. But then we have a huge bed of piano. Now what I do like to do is layer it with other instruments. So let me first of all load one of my favorite pianos that is free, by the way, if you have Contact. Let me load Contact. And this is a free piano. There is a website called, let me go there, Pianobook. Pianobook. And this essentially allows you to download a lot of different pianos and other instruments that people are sampled, not only for Contact, for all types of samplers. And I found this one that is amazing. It's all free, which is incredible. So if I go to my files, right here it's called Woodland Piano. And it's free, it's great, it's very mellow, great for this type of things. Let me turn up the felt here. We'll take down the pedal. And yeah, let's turn up the muted sounds and the plucked. And this is the piano. Okay, just a different sound piano. Of course, with our reverb. Nice. Now, what I do like to do is I'm going to group this Contact or whatever instrument you're using to play. I'm going to open up the chain list. I'm going to load another Contact. And in this case, I'm going to use a different library. You can use anything you want. I love the new Lors. I think this is included in the complete, at least the collector's edition. But it's a great kind of layered instruments of a bunch of synthesizers and also cellos, strings, flutes, stuff like that. There is one that I really liked here, I think, yeah, Blessed Winds. I did mark it, which I love this one. Now, I have my MIDI keyboard here. I'm using the mod wheel. So if the mod wheel is all the way down, we won't hear it. Oh, it's still loading, so we can hear all those glitches. But I'm gonna start turning it up. And then we get this extra layer of beautiful, in this case, flute and double bass. Let's close that. To keep this open, let's bring everything. Okay, nice. Anyway, love these instruments. Let's stop this. One last technique. There's so many more for ambient because it's just essentially making a bed of sound and having it constantly changing and randomizing over a long period of time. Having this chord progression will probably take away some of the ambient characteristic because there's some anticipation here. But even with your chord progression, you can continue and explore and go to other keys or whatever you need, do different variations of the chords. One last one, I want to show you my rack. It's called Magic Glitch, and this is to add some glitch sounds to your performance, to your ambient performance. I'm going to load it on a return track. You can get this from my website. I will post a link in the video description. You can get it. So this one, essentially it's with the Pitch Loop 89, which is a free Max for Live device from Robert Henke, one of the founders of Ableton. You can get it. Amazing device, kind of like a delay that has a buffer that you can scan the buffer. Now I did add an LFO here that, as you can see, automatically moves between the buffer, between the position of the buffer, and also change the bandwidth, which would change the pitch, which creates this awesome kind of small glitches. So I can send my piano there, just a tiny bit. And again, let me just play just the piano. I'm going to turn down the lowers, just so you can hear it, and play in one note. Let's turn it up a bit. And it's going to be random. We can start hearing those glitches. Nice, we can even have a few kind of macro variations here. Let's do short. Let's try short. Let's play something. Oh, here we go. All those glitches. I'm gonna play everything. Let's play our project. Here we go. Bring the lords in. Nice. Might be too much. Just turn it down with the return, with the send. Nice. Now if you have a sustain pedal, of course you can also use the sustain pedal to hold notes, and the lows will really come up. Nice. So this is just a few ambient techniques. I did add a color limiter on the master. This is a free effect from that from that creative creative extensions pack. You can download that. You'll find it under the dynamics color limiter, just to boost everything, but you need to download that creative extensions pack. For my own live performance, I'm also using a hardware synthesizer, which is the Minilog XD, for some extra sounds. But these techniques are so great. There's so many more. Just want to share a few of them. If you're trying to make some more ambient music, add some more ambient elements to your music, or do SoundBaths, or whatever it may be. And that's it. I'll catch you next time.